What's up everybody, Derrick here, and welcome back to yet another video. Today I'm doing a review of a brush set by tattoo artist Holly Ellis. This brush set is for Procreate and it's brought to us by TattooSmart.com. Holly tattoos up in San Francisco and is the owner of Idle Hand Tattoo. It's one of the most beautiful tattoo shops that I've ever been to. When you go in there, it just has this feeling, a patina that you could tell it's been around for a really long time. It has a lot of character and everyone that works there is so sweet. So if you're ever in San Francisco and you want to check out an awesome tattoo shop, make sure you stop by Idle Hand. Full disclosure, Tattoo Smart did send me this brush set to do a review of, and they are the sponsor of today's video. But I'm going to be giving my honest opinion on what I think about it. Now, before I dive in, this tool, like all tattoo tools, is to be used as an aid in creating something new. Just like, say, a ruler or flash on the wall. However, in scenarios where time is of the essence, like at a tattoo convention, this will come in really handy for putting together a line drawing really quick. With all of that being said, let's go ahead and dive right into it. Once you have purchased and installed the brush, it will show up here in your brush library along with any other brushes that you might have downloaded from Tattoo Smart. You can go ahead and grab the Girl Head by Holly Ellis brush. And to the right, you'll see that the brushes are all categorized by view. So starting with the front view, you have all of the heads and hair. Next, you have all of the facial features varying in different expressions, different size noses, different size lips. After that, you get into the 3/4 view where you have various head and hair combos. Again, to go with the 3/4 view, you have all the facial features below that one. And then at the bottom, you have the profile view heads, followed by the profile view facial features. At the very bottom, you'll notice some accessories, necklaces, collars, jewelry, glasses, even hands, and some flowers at the very bottom. This brush set has so many options for putting together a custom look. Whether you want a sly look, surprised, happy, crying, it has everything you could want. And you can mix and match any way you feel. For example, you can select a hair and face combo, come back over to your canvas, and drop it in. You'll see that there are these marks for lining up facial features. You see part of the cheek poking out, and you see the bridge of the nose, so that when you come back and select which facial features you want to add, they'll line up perfectly. Now, if you just drop it here, you're unable to move it independently of the hair. So what I do before I drop that in is I create a new layer. I'll drop the face on that. Then you can move it around, line it up with those marks, and then you can merge that layer down and you're good to go. Then when you want to move them, they'll move all together. One tool that I like to incorporate a lot with this is liquify. Now, if you set it to push and you adjust the size, you can build out different parts of the hair, stretch them, make it feel a little bit more like how you would want to have it. Even if you wanted to raise an eye, open an eye up, bring the nose out a little bit, you can start to see that it becomes a little bit more custom. I wouldn't want the nose quite out that far. Bring that down a little bit. Give a little slope to the nose. Give a little smile. Now you're starting to see something that's a little bit more custom and not so copy and paste. If you want to customize this to your own personal style even more, you can drop the opacity and build on a layer above that. I like using this Cheyenne cartridge liner along with this. It's about the same thickness. For me personally, the way I draw an eye is very different from the way Holly draws an eye. And that's not to say that one is better than the other, but you want to give it your own personal touch. You don't want to just use this as a copy and paste. This is more of a foundation, a template, or a general direction that you want to go with a drawing. So for me, when I draw eyes, I give a little bit more of this type of an arch here, and I give this a little bit more of a sharp corner. The bottom of the eye is pretty similar to how I do it. Another thing that I do that's a little bit different than Holly is the way that I design a pupil. I like to do more of a half circle and not so much of a full circle in the middle of the eye. Now you can already see that that's a little bit different of an eye compared to what she had. You can see it's starting to take a little bit more of my personal style into consideration and not just the underlying stamp. This is something you can also do with the hair. For example, When I design hair, I like to have really uniformed lines. I don't like to have varying widths between lines. I shape them a little bit different. I like to have a little bit of a different flow than the hair that's here. This hair is awesome, but again, you don't want to just make it a copy and paste. Another thing that I personally do different is a little bit more of that type of a shape on the nose, or of this kind of nostril. But it's still saving a lot of time. I'm not having to do the underlying sketch. I'm not having to come up with this completely from scratch. I love how this incorporates with other brushes from Tattoo Smart as well. Like you can go into the Scott Sylvia roses, you can snag a rose, drop it into her hair, and erase the underlying lines where the hair was. And just like that, you can start to see that there's a big difference between the drawing that we started with and the drawing that we're ending up with. Like what I was talking about with the hair, I would start bringing in some extra lines to kind of bring some uniformity. And this isn't something you have to do exactly what I'm doing by any means. You know, put your own spin on it. Insert your own flavor, your own style. Do what you would normally do. But you can use this as a foundation. Like I was saying, if you're crunched for time, or you just want to experiment with something different, this is just another tool in your toolbox, another resource. Using opacity, we can see what this is starting to turn into, and if we draw the opacity back and get rid of the original stamp tool, you can see the lines that I've added to change it up and make it something different. That uniformity in the hair, the added rose, the personal styling on the eye, the personal styling on the nose. One other thing that I would personally do is come in with an eraser and take out these lines in the lips, just because that's not what I would do. If that's what you would do, leave it in. Or if you want to inherit some things from Holly's style to incorporate into your own, you can do that too. I'm gonna go ahead and pull up a couple examples of some different versions that I've messed around with over the past couple days using Tattoo Smart's spit shading tool to make it look like it's watercolor, like Flash would be, incorporating some extra elements, incorporating a necklace, incorporating earring. There's so many different things you can do and subtle tweaks that you can make to these to make them your own and just to have fun with, to learn, to practice. If drawing faces is one of your weaknesses, this is a great tool for building up that strength, becoming more familiar with the different features of a face and how they work and why you would draw them the way you draw them. If you wanted to practice painting them, you could do all kinds of different things. Well, that pretty much wraps it up for today's review. I love this tool. I 100% recommend it. You can get it at tattoosmart.com, download it, use it in Procreate. And while you're there, you can check out their other tools. I get a lot of value from them, and I hope you do as well. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like and subscribe. If you have any questions or you want to see any specific videos from me in the future, go ahead and leave them in a comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Peace.